Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast, The Road to Restoration. I'm Pastor Sergio Mora, and how happy am I today to have you with me. The Road to Restoration is all about being on that process in which God restores areas of your life that perhaps you've avoided. The truth is, everyone is in restoration. You're either on the road of restoration, you've fallen off the road of restoration, or maybe you're just weary of being on the road. Wherever you find yourself, today I want to help you become who God's called you to become, because it just doesn't happen, right? We all have to take the steps. We all have to go through the process. And today I want to talk to you about the Phoenix Factor. The Phoenix Factor is a book that I'm writing, and it's all about getting up when life has knocked you down. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when life knocks you down. No one does or no one becomes great without experiencing loss, failure, brokenness, disappointment. And what I've learned, it's in those times of loss, failure, disappointment that really do define us. When I experienced my fall, my breaking, my disappointment, I had people often tell me, Sergio, you have to remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. People would tell me, Sergio, failure is not final. And all these nice classic phrases, tweets, people would feed me, and I would listen to them and kind of brush them off because they just seemed too quaint for the pain that I was going through. It's like I'm going through real pain, real hurt. I need something real. And so I was going through my Bible and I was reading the translation, the complete Jewish Bible translation, and I found this scripture that I want to share with you. It's in the book of Job, chapter 29, verse 18. It said, I said, I will die with my nest. However, I will live as long as a phoenix. Now, there is a Jewish tradition, a Jewish conversation that the phoenix was the only bird that did not eat from the tree of good and evil. And so it was blessed with the ability to regenerate itself and reemerge. And so, however you want to take that, I do believe there is a phoenix moment in a person's life. You know, the phoenix bird is also known as the Greek mythological bird that goes to its glory, and then at the height of its glory, it sets itself on fire, and all the way until it becomes ash, and from the ash emerges an egg, and the birthing of a new phoenix that actually is brighter, better, stronger than its predecessor. So the thought is, in the complete Jewish Bible, is that what Job was saying is, I will die with my nest and I will live as long as a phoenix. What it was saying is, I will go to that place of rebirth, which is the nest, but that I will also emerge like the phoenix is known to emerge from its ash. And what Job was literally saying is, it's not going to end until I emerge and I break out brand new. So this is ultimately what I'm saying, not only in this book, but in this short podcast. Don't stop until you become the new you that you're supposed to be. Let me say this to you. Don't stop letting God process you, letting life process you until you become the new you that God intended for you to be. Because oftentimes we give up in the process. You know, Job is here talking about his breakout moment. I want to live as long as the phoenix. And what does that mean? That means I want to keep living and being rebirthed, living, being rebirthed. Well, the New Testament, Paul says it this way, that we go from glory to glory to glory. And in essence, what the Bible is teaching us is that if you'll stay true to the process that God's placed you on, though painful it is, though as long as it takes, though wearisome it gets, know this. You'll emerge as a new person. Every person that I've talked to, that I've interviewed, that I've done podcasts with, who've experienced great success in their life, will always talk about their phoenix moment. And today, I want to talk to you about your phoenix moment. Maybe right now you find yourself in a condition or in a position where you're no longer in control of the outcome of your life. Maybe you're listening to this and you're hearing this because you just went into bankruptcy, or you're going through brokenness, or you're going through a breakup in a marriage, or you're going through a breakup with your children in pain, and you're finding yourself in a circumstance where you realize you can no longer call the next shot. In fact, that's been taken from you. And you feel almost, in a sense, helpless and hopeless if you let yourself feel it, because you realize that what you were once in control of, your destiny, the decisions for your life and for others, somehow that privilege has been taken from you, and now others are determining where you're going to end up. That's a scary place, but that's where the Phoenix factor comes in. There is a process to this Phoenix factor, almost like the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus, that if you'll allow yourself to go through the process, you will absolutely emerge different. No one goes through the Phoenix process and remains the same. So what is the process? This is really important to know, because it's not a matter of if you're going to go through it. It's when you go through it. So let me submit this to your thinking, that a Phoenix factor, the Phoenix process always begins with a breakup. It's either a breakup of a relationship, a breakup with an old identity of who you were, a breakup with a job, a breakup with a business. But there is a brokenness, there's a separation. There is this moment where a boundary line is set, where once was no longer is, and what you've wanted can no longer be. All you have now is a memory, but you don't have a future. And that's what I call the breakup. And the breakup will always lead you to a breakdown. And this is where most people want to give up. See, I've talked to people often who have gone through hard circumstances, tragedies in their life, deaths, and they've shared with me what's most difficult about the grieving process and is that you don't know what's next. And if you can know what the next step is, or what the next part of the process is, it could give you hope that where you are is not going to be forever. So when you break up, it always leads to a breakdown. And that breakdown is where life begins to remove from you thoughts and breaks down who you've been. And you experience the breakdown emotionally, the breakdown mentally, the breakdown spiritually. And the breakdown is important because that's when God gets your attention. The reality is, unless there's a breakup with an old attitude and a breakup with old friends, a breakup with a circumstance, you don't experience the beauty of the breakdown. But the breakdown is dangerous because the breakdown is where you're going to begin to decide, do I want to walk out this process, yes or no? But if you would know this, that a breakdown doesn't just keep you there. A breakdown, if you can graduate from that stage, will lead you to what I call a break off. A break off moment is when all of a sudden you break things off of your life that in the breakdown you've discovered you need to get rid of. Sometimes there are relationships that can no longer go where you are going. Sometimes you have to break off the old you because the old you cannot go where the new you is going. Sometimes, as you've heard before, it's a break off of a mentality. Sometimes it's breaking off old habits. Sometimes it's breaking off old relationships. But God will always lead you to a break off moment where you have to decide here. You've gone through the breakup. It's led you to a breakdown emotionally, a breakdown spiritually, but it leads you now to a break off where you have to decide, I'm going to break off that attitude, break off that mindset, break off that language, break off that way of living. And the beauty of it is that when you decide to graduate from the break off, it leads you to what is a breakthrough. But don't be surprised, your breakthrough is not your breakout. Your breakthrough is that for the first time, you can see the light of day. The breakthrough is when you have enough pain experience that you can look back to where you've been, but you still don't know where you're going. The breakthrough is amazing because you've gone through enough of the process to know that you're not where you used to be, but you're absolutely not where you want to be. And the breakthrough gives you the hope of tomorrow because it's given you victory for yesterday. However, know this, the breakthrough is not God's goal. The breakthrough is to give you hope that there is something greater ahead. And the next step when we graduate from the breakthrough is what I call the breakout moment. And this is what makes you the leader. In fact, there's a verse in the Bible in Micah chapter 2, verse 13. I want to read this verse of scripture to you because this verse of scripture literally encouraged me when I had to break through and get to my breakout. It says in Micah 2:13, your leader will break out and lead you out of exile, out through the gates of the enemy cities, back to your own land. Your king will lead you. The Lord himself will guide you. Micah 2:13 speaks of that one leader, that one person that will break out, that will then lead others out. And the reality is, a breakout moment is when you begin to see the new you. You emerge as the new you. You develop a new heart, a new voice, a new mindset, a new way of seeing yourself, and a new hope for your future. Because the breakout is God saying to you, now you're ready to be used in a new way. And that now you can emerge as the new you. But remember this, the new you is it's not about you. The new you is about helping others help others after you to break out with you. So remember this, God never does anything in your life just for you. He always does it because he's thinking about others. I hope that what I just taught you right now in this podcast will help you get a mindset, understand the process, that wherever you are, there's always a next step. God has your breakout in mind if you won't give up. Thanks for watching the podcast, The Road to Restoration. My hope and prayer is that something that I've said will inspire you to believe God for your breakout moment. Thanks for watching. Share it with others. Let friends and family know that the Road to Restoration Breakthrough podcast is helping you break through so that you can break out. God bless you.